Great man on and off the field. Do you have any tips that can help take my game to the next level? Thanks, man. With the caption, on to the next, from Brown. All right, see, what do you make of this?
Hey, if you're a young receiver, don't stop. Don't stop DMing. If I took you through my DMs as far as kids that I've encountered since we've had Twitter and the things that I've been able to listen to them about their issues, should they stay in college, where should they train, what should they do next? Like, this is one of the things about AB that upset me more because I know the legacy. And I know wide receivers throughout the years have taken care of other wide receivers. And for Juju to reach out, and when he's at USC, just trying to get better, he's just trying to enjoy the same thing that we enjoyed. When I got into pro football, there were guys, Mike Quick, Kenny Jackson, man, they went out of their way to make sure that I understood that I had the opportunity. And even if it was me taking their role, me taking their spot on the team, which ended up happening in Philadelphia with Kenny Jackson. This is a legacy that we have in the league. From the older players to the younger players, been passed down from generation to generation.
Is a really respectful, hardworking kid.
A nice guy.
Are you kidding me? I was napping when this story happened. I woke up, I saw on Twitter that someone had said AB releases a Juju DM, and I was nervous for Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yes.
What did you think it was going to say?
I thought it was probably from love your story. Like, no, what are you talking about? I mean, I don't understand what's happening here. I jokingly said earlier, Antonio's going crazy. These are the acts of a crazy guy.
Why can't he let this go? Why can't he move on? What is he so obsessed with that he cannot close the book on a chapter that he made all the effort to move on from?
I don't have a clue. I don't know what he wants. He got traded. He got the new contract. Like, I don't know what he wants next. Like, AB, man, I'm totally confused. Like, I'm totally confused, like, what his real goals are day to day now.
Do you remember the first Super Bowl before this show existed? You and I were at it. It was in Houston, I think. And we were doing we were doing something. And we stopped filming for a moment, and AB was walking by. And it was right after the Instagram Live thing. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
Right after the Instagram Live thing.
Yeah.
And you grabbed him for a second. It didn't seem like you knew him that well. He had a bit of a relationship. And you reached out to him and you said, hey, man, I think, you tell me if I'm misquoting the story, if you need to talk, we should talk. And because at that moment, that was the first thing really outside of the box Antonio Brown had done. He didn't have any of the off the field stuff. He didn't have the blue hair. He didn't have any of the relationship issues with teammates.
No mustache.
But he had kind of betrayed Mike Tomlin by live streaming that moment. And it seems like since then, he is just, instead of going down a path of, well, that was stupid, I shouldn't have done it, he just keeps doubling down on the crazy. And this is mean-spirited as well, which I think it blows up in his face because Juju looks good, but he clearly thought this will make Juju look bad by revealing a private conversation, which is, in any walk of life, totally out of bounds.
He's getting bad advice or no advice and sort of doing this on his own. So now he takes this behavior, if you will,
They're going to have problems, and this is this is a me issue. This is a Chris issue, because I can understand trying to force your way off a team. I can understand you trying to get more guarantees, but what I don't understand is, as an African American, AB, I don't know why you want to tear down Mike Tomlin. Why would you make? As hard as it is for African Americans to get head coaching jobs, as hard as it is for people to believe that they can control the roster and the locker room, why would you make life more difficult for him? And then you're going to double down on that in Juju Smith-Schuster. You're going to make another African American, you're going to make his life miserable by putting things out there. Like, I don't understand that. So now what's going to happen to John Gruden? Well, if he didn't have no respect for a black man and another black man, what would he have respect for John Gruden? So for me, I'm disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in him as an NFL wide receiver. I'm disappointed in him as someone who the NFL has put out there, and he's taken advantage of the NFL brand. And I'm embarrassed as a black man that he would embarrass Mike Tomlin and embarrass Juju and put Juju out there. So it's a Chris thing.
And the coach, as far as the coaching staff goes, Coach Mangini makes this point all the time, and I think it's a relevant one. You speak to your team in multiple ways. When you actually speak to them, through your actions, through your decisions as a coach or a GM. And John Gruden made the decision. Who's the first Oakland Raider to get paid in the John Gruden era? This guy. He ships away Amari Cooper because they don't want to pay him. Ships away Khalil Mack because they don't want to play him. Two guys that are, by all accounts, great teammates.
I'd introduce them to my daughter. That's the kind of reputation they have.
Right. Great guys. And Antonio Brown, who, I mean, you wouldn't let cats sit for you at this point. He's the guy to get paid. And now his skills are undeniable. But he's the guy you go out and trade for when you're trading guys away. He's the guy. Gruden traded for Martavis, who wasn't a bad guy but had made some bad decisions, and that blew up in his face. Trades for AB, and the first guy you pay, I just don't know what that says to the other guys in the locker room.
Typically what it says is, I'm going to pay the guy that works the hardest, which AB, that's all I've been telling. That's all I tell people. No one works harder. No one works harder. But I didn't know eventually they're going to pay the craziest guy in the building, because that's what they've done in Oakland.
All right, we'll leave it there. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers speaking out on his relationship with Mike McCarthy.